Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Sundering Tarot. If you're new, hi, hello, and welcome. This is our fifth and final part to our a deck of the month, the Magical Dogs Tarot, for our deck Strength versus Weakness series. Today we're going to be covering anti-pairs, particularly oracles that do not pair with this deck. A quick recap: the strength of this deck is shadow work, the weakness is self-care. And I have pulled 8 decks to show you real quick as examples. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, I'm going to start with Indy. This is the Intuit Astro Persona Oracle. And of course, this is one that goes through every single placement you can think of, all the way through the zodiac. So it does have, you know, a key phrase, tells you what the placement is, and then gives you description as well as a mouthful of keywords. And in this case, the Magical Dog says, I ain't reading that, I don't like the keywords. It's too much text. It's like information overload. So yeah, this one is a no-go for the Magical Dogs Tarot. As much as it could maybe utilize that information, it's not going to process it. So that was an interesting discovery. And to keep on going, this is the Secrets of Wandwood. As much as I normally say that aesthetics have nothing to do with whether a deck pairs or doesn't pair, it's about the energy. Well, in this case, I'm eating my own words, because it is about the artwork, and it's about the aesthetics completely. As far as the Magical Dog is concerned, when it comes to this particular oracle, it has issues with the style of artwork. Whether you consider that petty or not, it's just the way it is, because there's no other explanation for why these two don't pair. And near as the deck can tell me, it's the artwork. It just it doesn't like it, which I don't know if it's like the trees with faces. If that's, you know, aesthetic part that just kind of, you know, doesn't compute very well with the art style and weirds the deck out, but that's what I've discovered. It's the artwork. Moving right along, apologize for going quickly, but I've only got so much time and I don't want to keep you here all day. This is the Familiar Spirit Oracle. And of course, this is one that I fully expected to get rejected, because if you can see in the artwork, all the animals, Dan left the eyes blank. So instead of giving them black eyes, he left all the eyes white. And of course, it does tell you what it is. It gives you a key phrase. I was all like, okay, it's either the artwork or it's the key phrase. That's why these two don't get along. And how wrong I was, because this is a actual strength versus weakness issue as to why these two don't like to communicate. And we're going to have one more deck, and then we're going to move on to Mass Market. This is Sarah McCormick's deck. This is the Soul Care Oracle. This is an interesting one, and yes, it does say soul care, and yes, the weakness over here for this particular deck is actually self-care, but those two don't correlate. But this deck has elements, it has moon phases, it has zodiac signs, so it's got a lot of astrology as well as elemental to it. But it's the astrology part that the Magical Dogs dislikes. It's not the different representations of seasons or elements or even the planets that you see in the deck. It's the astrology portion, which is not surprising. A lot of tarot decks dislike astrology decks, and this just happens to be one that, from near as I can tell from my collection, does do that. Alright, we're now going to get into Mass Market. This is the Oracle of the Fairies. by Karen K. This is another one that is very bright, very themed. You know, this is fairies. And as much as this deck could reject the Oracle, the fairies, because it is all fairy, it is a themed Oracle, it's not exactly why these two disagree. And it's not a strength versus weakness issue either. It took me a second for it to actually click and resonate with me. This is a divine masculine deck. Believe it or not, this is a divine feminine deck. Once I realized that and it kind of made sense, that's the reason why these two don't get along. There's an imbalance between those two divine energies. So they just don't jive. Alright, and our next mass market is a very popular one. You guys will probably recognize it just from the backings. This is Colette Baron Reed's The Enchanted Map. Okay. I'm not exactly surprised that these two don't get along. And no, it's not because of the artwork. Yes, the aesthetics are different, but no, it's not because of the artwork. I've had more than one deck reject the Enchanted Map for repeatedly the same reason. If it's not a strength versus weakness issue, it's always the keywords. Now, some of these make perfect sense, metamorphosis, but things like the Bone Collector don't make sense. Rock bottom, coming to life, flying, strength, Wizard of Awareness, what is that? Sacred Pool, what is that? There's certain ones in here that a lot of decks don't know what to make of. Gentle Gardener, Dragon's Lair, you know. Some things are obvious to another deck trying to communicate, and others, it comes across a keyword and goes, wait, what? And it trips it up. Ghostlands, what is that? Spirit of Place. So some of these don't help with communicating. And that's exactly the reason why a lot of the times this deck ends up getting rejected by another. And that tends to be the case with this particular deck, the Magical Dogs Tarot, as well. Alright, next one I have to show you. This is the Urban Crow Oracle. This is MJ's Oracle. It goes with the Crow Tarot. Okay, this is another one that is a theme deck. It also has keywords on it. However, it's not the keywords that are the issue. Not at all. I mentioned this actually in the previous section, the Anti-Pair Tarot Edition, with another deck, another theme deck that was the same kind of theme. Here you have dogs. Here you have birds. Dogs hunt birds. Pheasant hunting, quail hunting. I mean, this is a predator and prey situation. These two themes are not great together. One wants to hunt, one wants to fly very far away. And I really don't blame either deck, but at the same time, when it comes to trying to communicate and get things across, it's a mess, to say the least. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And last but not least, our final deck. This is the Seasons of the Witch, Beltane Oracle. Now, I just grabbed one of these at random. This absolutely has nothing to do with Beltane itself. Simply because if you look in my description box down below, which has the complete list, well, at least from my current collection of decks that do not pair, that are Oracle when it pertains to the Magical Dogs Tarot, I have every single Seasons of the Witch listed. Every single one. Every single one. Why? Because the Sabbath energy of the Seasons of the Witch, regardless of what Sabbath it is, the Magical Dogs says, nope. So something of note. Hopefully that is valuable to someone out there to have that information. After all, this is what this is about, is to compile information about a deck or several decks to see what works, what doesn't, why doesn't it work, why does it work, you know, what more can you get out of a deck, how can you utilize it, where is it best to be used or not used. So I hope you enjoy this particular series just for that reason, because it is very informative. I do have the previous videos for this deck of the month, the Magical Dogs Tarot, listed in the description box down below. I have the complete list of Oracle decks that do not pair with this deck in the description box down below. I also have 3 playlists on my channel. The deck strength versus weakness, which you can find the opening video to all the previous featured decks of the month, as well as a perfect pair playlist and an anti-pair playlist. You can find the appropriate section for any of these videos in the series that I have already done, just to help you catalog and jump to the one you need to. We will be featuring the Unfolding Path Tarot for the month of June. Once again, I do apologize for getting May's deck strength versus weakness to you very late. I had scheduling issues. The poll for July is up in my community tab as we speak. So please, if you want to enjoy more of this content and have a say in what deck I feature, by all means, go to my community tab and vote on what deck you would like to see for the month of July 2024. And I hope you enjoyed the Magical Dogs Tarot, my Pain to Gain deck. Let me know if you noticed anything interesting, anything that you learned, anything you consider buying or not buying now because of this series. I'd be happy to know in the descriptions and the comment section down below the description box. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.